almost 7 o'clock, so we will call this meeting to order. And if you will, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, and as we've done every meeting this year, we are reading parts of our mission and vision and beliefs. And this month is the second half of our core beliefs. We believe in assessment that are authentic, meaningful, appropriate, and helpful in guiding students' futures in whatever vocation they choose. We believe in technology that enhances learning, enables education in varying environments, and prepares students for current and future technological advances. We believe in facilities that provide a safe, clean, and effective learning environment. And we believe in proper stewardship of resources that supports the sustainability, security, and effectiveness of our school district. And our next agenda item is public hearing on teacher compensation and negotiations.
Yeah, per Indiana code, we would follow the public comments, allow for public comments regarding teacher compensation negotiations before we begin contract negotiations for this year. So does anybody have any public comment about teacher compensation negotiations that we actually have our bargaining meeting scheduled here in October?
All right, seeing none. Do we have any public comment on agenda items?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We do have, it looks like 3 people signed up that only one has what the agenda item is, and it is not on our agenda. And the other 2 did not list what their agenda item is. So we will go ahead and go to everybody their 2 minutes that we have here. So John Steelman.
Good evening, board. I'm John Steelman. I want to start out saying it's a lot cooler in here than it was last month. You guys remember how miserable that was, right?
Chillers.
Was it fair to say the AC was out last month?
Yeah, the chiller was.
The chiller was out.
Yeah.
Is there 2 AC units, one for the high school, one for the elementary? Obviously, the high school is out.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty darn hot that week, the hottest week of the summer, in my opinion. Does the school board still maintain that it was a good idea to mandate masks in the hottest week of summer with the air out?
I do.
Are there any negative health consequences of having children in rooms with temperatures between 85 and 95 with a mask over their face? I argue yes. Mask should be a parent's decision because it's a medical decision. Whenever you put a mask over a child's face, you are limiting the amount of air that they can push in and push out. In health-related matters, parents do not relinquish their decision-making skills to a school board or any other government entity. For example, when a kid gets sick, they go down to the nurse's office and they have a headache or they have a scratchy throat. The nurse is not automatically able to give that child Tylenol or cough medicine, right? You got to have the parents approve. In some cases, the parent even has to provide the medication that they're going to give the child. But now we're instituting a medical decision on behalf of the board, putting something over their nose and their mouth, regardless of the parent's discretion. I believe that's not the way it should be. You guys don't see me coming in every month before all this mass stuff started. I don't come in and I don't brief you guys on the dress code. I don't brief you guys on the suspension policies. I don't give you grief on the lockdown procedures. But when you put a mask over a child's face, regardless of the parent's discretion, I'm going to have words against that because my child's medical safety is my responsibility, not yours. Let me turn this discussion around Everyone over there believes that masks help protect children, right? I assume so. You guys voted unanimously for it last month. Switch it the other way. Is that 2 minutes or 1?
That's over 2 minutes.
That's over 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was late in getting it started.
All right.
Stacy Thompson.
I attended the previous meeting for my child's concern about being masked in school, to which I still strongly stand by. I still believe that masks in the correct environment and their circumstances are useful, but public use is not that. If you read the boxes and do a little research, you're going to see that they're not really being effective. I still believe that for children, or anyone for that matter, being able to see each other with a smile on their face is an important thing. I still believe that during language development years, it is important for children to see as well as to hear clearly their teachers, and masks impede that. I believe that masking poses a health concern for general public use. It is dirty. The American public has never been taught to use a mask. As a medical professional, you are required to go through training in order to know how to do that and to dispose of them properly. We don't do that. They're dirty. I guarantee you that they are not taught that, because I'm sure you that those kids lay them on their desk, they pick them up, they put them on their face, they sneeze, and then they drop them on the ground. They're nasty. I stand behind the thought that is shared with many parents that it's harming our children in not only physical but mental ways that we have no idea the ramifications of. Do you realize that the last normal year for your seniors in high school this year was their freshman year of high school? They don't know what normal is beyond that freshman year of high school. For your second graders and under, they have no idea what a normal day of school was. Your incoming high schoolers, elementary school was the last normal thing they saw for school. When I walked out the door of the last meeting, I was upset. And the more I thought about it, the more conversations that took place, the more my upset turned into anger. When I read your website, a message from the principal stating Woodville Junior Senior High School's expectations center around the academic excellence, student involvement, and inclusion, our school vision of encouraging, educating, and empowering reinforces our mission of encouraging our students in learning, educating our students in academic and life skills, and empowering our students for the future. We are committed to the success of our students and providing the absolute best learning environment. As a parent, when I read this, I believe that you are saying that you want to educate children and prepare them for the real world that happens after they leave these walls. But I don't feel like that's the message that they're getting. I feel like the parents fell on deaf ears last time. When the original announcement was made to the children about having to wear masks, they obviously were discussing it in class. My child and others were told by teachers that they didn't have a voice and they shouldn't voice their opinions. It was not about them and it was not their opinions, and they did not matter. That does not encourage our children in learning. That is squelching them. That is telling them to stay in their lane and know when to speak up for themselves, which was not in this situation. Not one that affected their education, their health, and their days. We heard in the last meeting that the students were polled about what they would prefer and given the choices of wearing a mask in school, to stay in school, or to go virtual. In the words of my 15-year-old, she said it like this: would you prefer to climb a tree and fall out of it or jump off of a cliff? The end result is the same.
Thank you.
So my question is, where's the third option?
Next person signed up is Vern Thompson.
I sat here and listened to you say, I don't know if these things work or if they don't, but this is what we had to do to keep the doors open, and so we will do it. I too believe that keeping doors open is important for many in our small community. This is their safe place. They need to be open. But yet, while you told us it was important for the kids to be in school and ask, what if I don't want my child to wear a mask and they don't wear one? We were told to go to the Bloomfield Online Academy. Obviously, it's not about keeping all the kids in school. As a medical professional and adult, I quite understand well that there are guidelines, recommendations that have been put in front of you and that you have to take into consideration, both from the ISDH and the CDC, who changes their mind sometimes daily basis, and by the way, knows nothing about medicine, but about reading, attempting to interpret data, and making rules that seem to affect everyone but them. I understand that you have to go have those rules and those statements anger me beyond belief. Our children, your children, the ones in these halls every day are our future. This is not empowering our students for the future. This is telling them not to think for themselves and to stand for what they want, or more important than what they believe. It is telling them that what someone else says is good for them and their health is more important than what they believe about themselves, their future, or their health. If you want to empower these students for the future, here's your chance. If you have an unbelievable opportunity to educate them to thinking for themselves. I know that is scary, letting kids who lack the frontal lobe development think for themselves. But I would rather my kid do it now when there's someone to help guide him through it and to guide him through that than when they're turned out in the real world, those doors where people don't care about them. You have an opportunity to educate these kids in more than book smart, but in common sense and critical thinking, two things which is sadly lacking in our world. And more importantly, you have the opportunity to empower them for the future, a future in which they have a say, one where they will know they can speak for themselves, and they know where there's someone who is listening because you chose to listen. If you don't listen to them, who is going to? If you truly want to engage, educate, and empower these kids that are entrusted to you, and truly want to be committed to the success of our students and providing the absolute best learning environment, then you're missing an opportunity to do that. These people.
Thank you. And our next agenda item is Students of the Month. And Mr. Dean?
Yep, yeah. Mr. Ringland is not able to be here, of course, I know you know that, so I've got, we're doing August and September, and I know Aiden is here, I don't have to. So first off, let me say, Senior Trenton George was our Senior Student of the Month for August, and he was at MEPS yesterday and today, so he told me, he said he may not make it back, and I said that is certainly fine. Trenton is a great kid, and so we'll recognize him. We'll hopefully have a chance to see him in person in October. All right, but I'm going to reach out here to Aiden Scott. Aiden is in the house with us. Make sure I get everything right here. Aiden, would you stand up, buddy? Come here, man. Do we need to listen? No, you come up here. All right. Where do we need to be at? Jessica?
Right here.
Do we need to be up that way?
Okay, I'm in the picture, but you're not. Step this way a little more.
Let's get right up on that. We won't do that.
There you go. You're visible now.
All right. So my man Aiden here is in 8th grade. All right, and he was a Student of the Month for August, 8th grade. We did seniors and 8th graders that year. And so just some of the questions that I had here for Aiden. His favorite food is, let's see here if I got that right. Yes, barbecue riblets, mac and cheese shells, and mashed potatoes. So that is a favorite meal. I love it too, man. I'm with you. What clubs and teams, programs, groups are involved with? He's involved in basketball, baseball, and cross country. And what we got tomorrow or Saturday?
Saturday is swag.
Saturday is swag. That's exactly right. Okay. His hobbies, he likes running, spending time with family, being outside, and hanging out with his friends. I see that a lot. That his class there, they've got a good cohort there that they hang out with. His favorite subject is math. And I said, why? And because I always just understand it from the get-go. So it comes easy to you, huh? At some point now, they're going, oh, Mrs. Evans left. Doggone it. She's like the top dog in math, man. So, but that is great. That's good, man. If that comes easy to you, you got a good future there in that. And then finally, what do you like most about Bloomfield Middle and High School? He says, I like the way that people come together, lift each other up in a positive way. And I think that is outstanding and awesome, man. You're a fine young man. Aiden Scott, congratulations on being August. And then let me go back to my recognitions here. So that Aiden was August. Our September Student of the Month, juniors and 7th graders. Delaney Richardson is our junior Student of the Month. She has a volleyball match tonight at Clay City, and she'll be with us in October. Now, Michi Woodruff is our 7th grade Student of the Month. I thought she was going to be here tonight, and she's evidently not made it. So we'll make sure that we get Michi in here in October as well to take care of that. But Michi, of course, all of our Student of the Months, they're nominated by their teachers, and then they're voted on by their teachers. And so that's quite an accomplishment, a recognition there for that. I'm going to finish and go on here. We had a suicide awareness walk on September the 9th, and we partnered with Aaron's Purpose on that. I thought it was a great event. It was just a really nice, number one, it was a great day for that. And then, we were able to have Terry, who was going to have a person, a guest speaker, to kind of give us their testimony on it. And we did in a way, but it wasn't in person, and Terry was able to give that for us. And then we went out as a building, as a middle school and high school, and made the trek up and around. And quite honestly, we probably should have made it a little bit longer. It was just that good of a day, and kids really had a good time and did well. And just the fact to just have that recognition of the social and emotional health of everybody, just an opportunity just for us to take just a snippet of the day and make that recognition. It was a nice time. We've had some other things be going on. We just wrapped up College Go Week last week, September 20th to the 24th. That's statewide. As I think everybody knows, if you didn't look when you walked in, we are an early college high school endorsed by SEL. We are going through re-endorsement this year. So we'll be collecting our data, submitting it. Our committee, which is comprised of myself, Ms. Fagan, our counselor, Ms. Bladen, media specialist, and Ms. Fowl, as one of our early college teachers. That comprises our early college committee, and we will be taking care of that this year, and then have an on-site visit second semester. I do want to throw this out because numbers always sound good when you do that. But last year, Bloomfield High School students accrued or earned 1,297 dual credits at a savings of $233,588. Now that is, I gotta tell you, man, that's impressive. It is. I mean, for our size and that. So I'm very proud of that, and I just thought that was a number. I've been dealing with numbers today, and I just thought that was a good one that really struck with me. We also had a blood drive that we had from the Indiana Blood Center that was here on Tuesday, the 14th of September. And I believe we collected right around 26 units of blood for them. So always want to do that. We'll do one again second semester. And we have beta sponsors now, which is a big relief for me. And so usually beta is the one that takes over the sponsorship of that. And we'll get going there. I want to recognize my middle school New Tech team. They've done a great job. We've got some new staff members in the middle school, and they've all come together in a cohesive unit. They had a day of a workshop, and it was a good opportunity, and it was an on-site visit with our coach from New Tech. And so we've got other things that go on periodically throughout the year, but I was proud of them on that. As I mentioned, our early college committee has been meeting. We had a networking meeting last week, and got together with several of the early college programs from around the state. And so that's always an opportunity for us to network, collaborate, and there's a lot of work ahead for this year. Couple things, just looking forward. Number one, ROTC and JROTC, they're out and going. They had a competition in New Albany last weekend, and they finished fourth out of 8. And of course, size-wise, where we're at as far as the number of students. And really good job. Large number of freshmen that went down, so they're learning on the job there. Commander Lemons and Chief Holford do a great job with that. Chief Holford's actually taking a group down to Louisville this Saturday for an orienteering meet, which you will approve, by the way, here later this meeting. Also, we got sectionals approaching. Tennis, unfortunately, got beaten at the championship down at North Davies. I hate to see that. Ryan Schulte, Balin Graff, Wyatt Fry, Pavan Patel. My son Ethan wasn't able to play this season, but 4 years of tennis there with those guys, and did a really good job, and a lot of accomplishments along the way with that. We've got soccer coming up on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Girls soccer, which they had their senior night tonight. When I left, I don't know about you, Dr. Lehman, but when I left, it was 0-0.
We were down 2-0.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lady basketball, that ain't.
There was only about 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, so we probably got beat 2-0. They were playing shorthanded tonight, but they're a lot of heart in those girls. And so they have their sectional on Monday. The boys have their sectional on Tuesday. By the way, the boys 11-2 record season. Christopher Royal, just a personal acknowledgement, 25 goals. He's in the top 5, I believe, in the state this year in that, and doing a great job on that. And then cross country, you heard Aiden say that the SWAC was this Saturday, and that's both junior high and high school. And then the following Saturday is the cross country section, which will be at B&L. Volleyball happens to fall on our fall break, all right, and the girls are playing SWAC matchup tonight there, and they've been playing very well. And I want to just end by saying one thing. I want to, always thinking of
I love and appreciate my teachers and everything that they do for our students and everybody. And I know that we say this, but I want to reach out to and just give a big shout out to our custodians and our maintenance. It just seems like the radio has just been hammering this whole week and a half with cleanups and what this and that and needing, and with the construction and everything going on, they've just been a really big help. A lot of things, and we just had a lot of events going on, a lot of senior activities and everything. And, you know, all you gotta do is just, you know, hop on the radio, Unit 6, Unit 9, Unit 4, Unit 1, you know, they get right back to you, and they're very helpful. So, you know, Jeff and Jonas and Troy and Matt and Suzanne out here and the others, you know, Sandy in the elementary, I'm not too familiar always with them within our building, but they just do a great job, and they keep us going, and we appreciate it.
I wanted to add, I'm sure there are other accomplishments that maybe get missed, but Gracie Lowry got her 1,000th
That's right.
kill or
This week, yeah,
which
this
I
week,
thought
thank
was
you.
really impressive.
That
Being a
was.
short girl that played volleyball.
Right?
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things slip through, that you're
I
right,
know,
that was
it's
this
hard to
week.
keep track of everything.
All right, thank you. Our next agenda item is the consent agenda.
Yeah, on the consent agenda, the meeting minutes from the August board meeting and executive session, as well as the treasurer's report, our personnel, whole list there of personnel's ingoing and outgoing. A lot of them are the ECAs for this coming winter season. Field trips, Dave mentioned field trips there, several field trips. Fortunate we can do those this year. And then donations, we like to honor, recognize our donors for Bloomfield Cross Country, Dan Fry Landscaping, and James and Kara Talbot. And for NJROTC, Walton Funeral Services gave a donation for baseball, Linda Maddox. So thank you for donating for these organizations. We appreciate it.
Okay.
That's consent agenda.
Okay, and before we do the vote on the consent agenda, we do need to pull out one name, because we do have multiple names on here. My son and Carrie's husband both are volunteering for the girls varsity basketball program, but they are volunteer positions, so there are no financial conflict of interest there. But we do have Laura McIntosh that is related to Marissa, so we will pull her name. And Marissa, do you want to vote for yourself? Do you want to pull that out separately?
You can pull it.
Okay. So we'll pull Laura and Marissa out for a separate vote. So the first vote will be for everything else on the consent agenda. And do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
And do I have a second? Okay, any questions or comments? All in favor? All right, thank you. And the other vote will be for Laura McIntosh and Marissa McIntosh. Do I have a motion?
All motion.
All right, and do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. And all in favor? Thank you. Okay, other business.
Yes, we have our updated Neola board policies. We had our first reading last board meeting. You have to have 2 readings before, this is the second and final reading. You just have to have 2 readings for opportunities to ask questions, to comment on the board policies. Neola is just an organization of attorneys that really just update our policies to make sure we're legal and are, I guess, don't get sued. So they do that. I work with a Neola rep to go through those, and those are the updated policies. Any questions before we ask for approval for those policies?
Yeah, there is. Okay. Thing that, do I have a motion?
I'll motion that we approve.
All right, and a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, thank you.
Right. We also have a facility rental policy approval. We did the first reading last week, shared that with you. We've had periodically, we have requests to rent rooms or athletic fields, and we had not updated our policy for quite some time. So I worked with an attorney, worked with the board and the team here to update that to what we feel is appropriate. Any questions on that before we bring that up for approval?
Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
All right, and a second? All right, thank you. All in favor? All right, thank you.
Okay, next one, the adoption of the proposed 2022 budget. We had the budget calendar there. I presented in July, the 2022 budget. And then we have to have, allow for public comment on that budget. That was in the August board meeting. And then now we can approve that budget or request approval of that budget. Any questions on the budget for approval?
Does it need to be separate for each resolution or is it one vote?
One vote, if you could, no, just, no, it's just the budget, the 2022 budget. We actually going to do the capital projects and bus replacement next month.
Okay, all right. So the proposed 2022 budget,
Excuse me, also say in approving the resolution to transfer from the education fund to the operations fund.
okay,
In that too, sorry.
that's right. Yeah, so the budget and also the resolution to transfer funds from the education fund to the operation fund. Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, and a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor? All right, thank you. And now to Green County General Hospital Athletic Training Service Agreement.
Yes, we have athletic trainers here for sporting events. We have that agreement that I included here with them. And just want to get that board approved.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments? Okay, and do we have a motion?
A motion to approve.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? All right, and now the teacher appreciation grant.
Yeah, teacher appreciation grant is given to teachers usually around December. We get that from the state and an allotment to for the TAG grant, they call it, Teachers Appreciation Grant. And we do have to state that highly effective teachers will receive 25% more than effective teachers. Teachers who are improvement necessary or ineffective are not eligible to receive this grant funding. We have to establish and approve our policy, which is what I'm doing right here. And we have to submit that policy to the DOE. And that's what I'm doing, getting approval for the TAG policy.
Okay, do you have any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve? Okay, thank you. And a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now the educator evaluation process summary.
Yes, we also have to share our educator evaluation plan. I had to share that with the Teachers Association. We did that here in September and now have to share that with the board, and that was attached to the link. And I will just say it is the RISE evaluation model, which is the state recommended a handful of years ago that was used. For a while there, the state had, you had to use student data as part of the evaluation. Last year, they took that out of the Indiana code. So we also took it out of our RISE, and it is a rubric based on administrators going into the classroom, doing observations and checking on the rubric where teachers, what they see in the classroom. And it's the same as we did last year. I just updated a few typos and updated the dates and a little bit of wording, but basically the same evaluation plan as last year without student data.
Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve? Okay, all right, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? All right, and now the farm lease, right?
Yes, permission to advertise the cash farm lease and approve the farm lease criteria of the South Complex farmland acreage. We have leased that out, had a 3-year contract, and that is going to be over here in November. And we're just releasing a new one. I will, if you give me permission, with the terms of this lease, I will advertise that and see if we get some bids for that land out there. We'll say, this time around, it's only gonna be hay. We are using the athletic fields a lot more now. We got the cross-country course out there, and we just want hay out there. There will be hay fields, 51 acres of hay fields that can be leased, and they can keep the hay, and the terms will be on this advertisement to give you permission to release that.
Is there any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
And a second? All right, thank you. All in favor? Okay, and now for reports, the 21st Century CCL presentation.
We have Lindsay Steelman here, going to share, give us an update on how that organization, how that grant is going.
So I'm here representing both the elementary side and the high school side, as our elementary site coordinator couldn't make it this evening. But I am the middle and high school site coordinator. So for the elementary, the K through 5 group, so it's the whole elementary group, made and donated the powder for the color run this last night. It is the first of 3 service projects that are planned for this year. K1 have been focusing on apples and celebration of Apple Festival. 2nd grade through 5th grade have also been collaborating with IU Gold to teach students better health habits. With IU Gold, it is a group of nursing students that put together an exercise and nutrition program. They teach them nutrition through videos, and they do some exercises every couple days. And I know last year when I helped participate, they got some prizes for completing the program. 4th through 5th grade have been learning about oceans and their habitats. And then coming up, the elementary group will be taking a field trip to Lauderdale Farm to learn about harvesting and big farm equipment. They're also looking into producing Christmas songs using a green screen recording equipment and virtual music instrument museum. So for my group, the middle school and high school, we have built and sunk boats. They got to build the boats and I got to sink them. I had to see how much weight they could hold. They have planned, designed, and created new board games partnering with IU Mobile Makery, run by Andrew Woodard. He brought in 3D printers and a glow-forged laser printer to make their games. And I brought some models in here. Actually, Nishi Woodruff designed the purple board out of plexiglass and a little 3D printed sheep with a hat. She really enjoys playing with her little brother, so she based it simply on Candyland. That way for a young child, he could do it. And then I've got one student, Cole Townsend, who is very interested in military. So he did his based on the Peloponnesian War, a cross between chess and battleship. So he printed his board on balsam wood and then, of course, 3D printed his pieces. We are currently working on building carnival rides with moving parts. So one carnival ride got finished today. It's actually bound with a rubber band. If you hold it just right, you can spin it and it'll unwind itself. So we've got the carnival swings that generally go around. We got another group currently working on a Ferris wheel, and if we get done in time, we're going to try our hand at roller coasters. We've also started our classroom economy today, so my students actually view their work as a job. They get paid for it. I write them checks, they balance their checkbook, and then they pay me rent at the end of the month, and then get to shop the store if they've budgeted right. So they got to shop the store today. They were pretty excited. We've also set up a coffee shop. I have a Keurig with some K-Pods. I have snacks. Students from my program and also staff throughout the school can come into the room during the day and use the coffee shop. We hope to take the extra money, being that we cannot make money due to our grant, and put it towards a scholarship fund if we are to make enough money by the end of the year, because that is near and dear to my heart. Coming up, we are going to explore sea turtle conservation. We also have a landscaping project that we have been given, as well as problem-based learning with military problems and also setting up a fallen soldiers table for veterans. As far as all groups concerned, we are also partnering with the teachers, doing the readable English through the LIFT grant, and integrating STEM and STEAM with those novels that they will be reading through readable English. So Adam Scribner from IU will be coming down to train us for that, that we can then put those projects into our curriculum. Well, that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have a question. So are you ever in need of donation?
We will take just about anything and everything, from egg crates to cardboard to markers, pens, pencils, anything. As you can see, we do all kinds of stuff. Through the mobile makery, we do get some stuff that is grant funded as well, so he's able to supply some of the stuff when he comes. But like, we use a lot of hot glue, we use string, we use popsicle sticks. You name it, we could probably find a use for it.
Did you get a list or some way to get that out and we can help?
Yes, I will sit down with Rachel Pace, who is the elementary site coordinator, and Andy Wilson, who is the grant director, and we will see about getting a list of anything we might need.
So Chris Floyd, that's in the nurse's office, get her the list as well, because we will help out with, Erin's purpose will help out with some things. So
Okay.
Thank you.
I think it's fantastic. No.
What's going on?
Turner's having a lot of fun.
All right, now Superintendent Report.
Yeah, it's, lately I've gotten a lot of people asking me, how is your first year of superintendency going? And my comment is, well, it's largely influenced by the 2 C's, COVID and construction. So, we'll kind of give a COVID update. We have 2 active cases right now with 13 quarantined. And as we discussed, and I said this at the last board meeting, I don't like masks as much as the next guy. But it's something, at that point, we made that decision. We had 15 positives and over 150 students quarantined. And with the quarantine mandates that the governor's executive order is that if students are masked, they don't have to quarantine. And so we've gone from over 150 quarantine down to 13, and the big deal was kids in school. That was the big topic, the last board meeting. And so since that last board meeting, we've gone from over 150 out of school quarantine down to 13, largely because of the quarantine guidelines. We are planning to continue that. We would like to, I did not give an announcement out today because the governor's executive orders said they were up September 30th. So we're looking for what further direction will be given with that. If they loosen up the quarantine guidelines and make that a local decision, we definitely will give us some room there, some more freedom to go mask optional. Or if, they just loosen up the guidelines in general on quarantining, I guess make us more comfortable to go mask optional. The other factor we're looking into is our county numbers. We're at 2.5 orange. That's just a half point from being red. We would like to see the county numbers decline, be going the other they're declining a little bit there, but we're still in the 2.5 orange. We'd like to see that ideally in the yellow or blue as well. But kind of waiting to see if Governor Holcomb comes out with any changes in the quarantine guidelines. We'll stay status quo. I guess if I don't hear anything here this week, we'll probably stay status quo because our county's still at 2.5 in orange. And as I said, we'd like to see those numbers go the other direction before we would go to mass optional. So that's a little bit update on COVID. And then construction. So still a little bit in the elementary, there's still some straggler countertops and other items that need to be done. We're still working on the punch list. Classes are going fine. The furniture's great. The classrooms are great. just those minor things to finish up construction. The roof is being worked on in the elementary right now. As you can see, all the construction out here, they're getting the land ready for the parking lot and the land ready for the addition to the the multi-purpose area, and high school offices are getting all that land ready and working diligently on that. A few other things, Mike, didn't talk to you. He would have a lot more updates and detail about what's going on in the elementary, and I won't take that from him for next month, but he continues to do, and I show up to these when I, periodically, try to about every month, the character traits, and that's just really going well, recognizing kids with the positive character traits. And then Lindsay mentioned last night the color run, the literacy night out of the South Complex. That was a huge hit. That's the first time I've been a part of that. I had the pink color. I don't know why I picked the pink, but I had the pink, and so a lot of little girls wanted me to spill pink on their hair as they were running by, but it was a lot of fun, a huge hit. And I guess just in general, Dave talked about the middle school, high school, what I'm seeing from the elementary, always have been impressed with our staff and their preparation, their lessons, how much they care for the kids. And I see emails, one thing that I see a lot weekly is emails coming from that elementary staff. Hey, I need this, or I missed it, and they team together. And whenever someone presents a need, I mean, it is taken care of, it seems like within 5 minutes. And so I appreciate their teamwork of helping one another. And that's what it takes to be a good team, is to work together for the betterment of our school. And so I noticed that, not just in the elementary staff, but all staff. We continue to do that. We'll continue to grow and be the best we can be. So that's my summary. Is there any other thing as a superintendent, anybody out there or board that it's like, hey, I'm just curious about this or that or anything?
I'm not curious, I'm still pulling green out of my ears.
I had to scrub my arm last night with it, so.
My employees are making fun of me today, like, you missed that.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Is there any board member comments or items for future agendas? All right, seeing none, our future meetings will be our regularly scheduled board meeting on October the 28th and also November the 18th, both at 7 p.m. here in the Media Center. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.